right, Joseph. Now, Joseph, I've had you on a panel before. It's been a couple of years. Joseph works in the Stampini office, Boca Raton, right? Tell me a little bit about yourself, Joseph.
Well, Billy and I joined at the same time. We were talking about it yesterday. We can't remember exactly. We think it was either 8 or 9 years ago. We went to a super conference in Orlando, signed up, and 3 months later figured out, hey, they're not giving us everything. We need to go platinum. If you go back, this is my 25th year in business. I had my own brokerage, my own mortgage company, my own title company. They all went belly up when the market crashed, and I guess after Hurricane Wilma precipitated divorce, bankruptcy. I ended up becoming a salesperson, which I was kind of a stay-in-the-back broker before. And, you know, my basic marketing plan was just throw stuff up against the wall and see, pray that something sticks, and nothing did. So it wasn't until I got to the conference, broke, a couple $100 in my bank account, no credit cards because of the bankruptcy, no idea how I was going to pay $1,000 a month for coaching. But fast forward, everything works, and I was able to dig my way out of it. So thank you, Craig.
Well, thank you for being here.
So these are the expired mailers, the Mark Gastineau program. I adopted it many years ago. Copy, paste, send it out year after year, and it works. We tested it out as when you said A/B, we tested it out against Grayscale. Grayscale worked much better, so we've been doing that ever since. I probably need to go back and test again, but when it works.
Which one worked better, the color or
Grayscale. Actually, we got better results from the Grayscale. It's a lot cheaper to print. Exactly. This is the first mailer, so it's a printout from the Redfin on the home. And you can see the yellow sticky. It says, I may have a buyer for your home. That's what we started with. Now this is what we're using, is I have a specific buyer for your home. And that word specific is what gets the phone to ring. That's absolutely the best of all the different stickies that we tested out over the years. Nothing comes close to it. 8 or 9 out of every 10 people that call me, either it's the first thing they say is, you got a buyer for my home, or it's the second thing they say is, you said you have a specific buyer for my home. They always refer to it. They go out in these large envelopes, colored, hand addressed, stamped with sheets of the commemorative stamps, not flags or the bulk mail. Something that just came up recently, as you can see on the back, the printing on the back. This is how I was taught to do it, I don't know, 7 years ago when I started it, and I just kept doing it that way forever. We were in a brokerage meeting last week, and there's a new guy who just joined Craig, who sat next to me. He said, well, if the whole concept is supposed to be about making it look like personalized mail, why do you have the printing on the back? And for the life of me, I couldn't give him a straight answer. I had no clue. Just like, that's how we've always done it. But then Mark told me that was something that Todd changed years ago to test it out, that when they open it up, stuff goes everywhere. Maybe something will stick somewhere and they'll see your name and your number. So we're now going to start testing half with and half without the printing to see what kind of response rate we get. These are the inserts that go into it. You can see they're on white page, but you can see down below they're printed on different colored paper. So one page in each different mailer. Go ahead. There's 4 different colors you can see, and each one of those gets one of those yellow stickies. Here's the results from the last 2 years. You can see it's paying off 3 or 4 to 1. This year, really in the last couple of months, it's gone up dramatically as the market has cooled off. The number of expireds has increased significantly, and I'm getting 2 or 3 calls every week, which for me is a lot on the expired program. So it's only getting better and better. So this is Valpak. So this is something I started testing 3 years ago. These slides are a little bit out of order. I tested out sending out postcards and rack cards, which are a long card that fits in like a number 10 size envelope, and it didn't work. And it's not because the Craig Proctor system doesn't work, it's because I didn't have enough cash flow to send out enough to make them work. The direct mail response rate is pretty low. Statistically, it's about 0.5%. I didn't know that when I was doing these mailers, so I was sending out 200, maybe 300. I got nothing, so I figured, okay, it's not working, so I was looking for a different vehicle. So I found Valpak. They'll send out these kinds of mailers on the left, to 10,000 homes at a very low price point. So instead of paying 55 cents for a single postcard, this is costing me like 2 cents. So I took it to 90,000 homes, tested out different messages. We're now doing 40,000, the ones that are really producing. The message that is resonating is selling a home for a 1% listing. We tested out 0%, got no response to that. We tried the cash offers, got no response to that. So for Valpak, at least in my area, the 1% listing offer is what seems to be resonating. Here you can see the costs. Just in case you're interested, they give you a whole spreadsheet of demographics, so you can pick the area you want to go into by income level, by age, by the value of the home, etc. So you can really kind of laser focus in your results. Here's the results. So again, it is profitable, barely, but it's still making money. So as long as you're not losing money, it's worth continuing. Go ahead, Craig. Ensco did that for about the last year and a half. It actually has proven to be profitable, but the response rate is very low for the amount of work that goes into it. So, I would recommend that guardedly, I guess I would say. Homeward bound, we've been doing that all along. As Kurt said, it's one of those things you really have to be doing. For those of you in the back of the room who are new to the program or who have a big database, quick story, I got a call 2 weeks ago from a couple that wanted to sell their home. I walk in the door, and he says, "Hey Joe, good to see you again. I don't know if you remember us, but Myron, who was one of my agents at the time, sold us the house, and you did the loan for us." And it flashed to me that I closed my loan business 10, 11, 12 years ago, and I didn't remember them at all, but I just said, well, thanks so much. I appreciate you calling me. I'm surprised you remembered me. He said, well, how can I forget you? You've been sending me mail for the last 12 years. It was in the Homeward Bound program, so it works, and you just keep doing it.